Okay, we are live.
Good afternoon and welcome to the June 18th, 2020 Opportunity Youth Academy board meeting. It is June 18th, 2020, and I'm going to call this meeting to order at 4:10 p.m. Pursuant to Executive Order N2920 and N2520, this meeting is being held electronically. You can access this meeting at https youtubu.be/ capital C, capital R, NC, capital T, number 4, lowercase t, j, y, h, 4. I move to adopt the agenda for today. And I'll go next to, and I'm Dr. Marianne Dewan, County Superintendent of Schools and Chair of this board, and I am present. I'd like to now call upon Director Morales to share if there are any public comments of persons desiring to address the board on an issue that is not listed on the agenda.
Hi, Dr. Dewan, there are no public comments at this time.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to next agenda items, I have action items. There are 3. The first one is the adoption of the 2020-2021 Opportunity Youth Academy budget. Director Morales, do you have a statement for this item?
Other than this is the budget that we presented at on June 12th at the public hearing, and at this time I have no further statement.
Okay. So I'll take a moment to move, and we'll adopt the 2020-2021 Opportunity Youth Academy budget as presented. Next action item is the approval of the OYA written operations report for COVID-19.
Yes, Dr. Dewan, thank you. Again, this was an informational item that we had on our last board meeting, and so I'm bringing it to you for approval.
So I think last time we looked at this, I think we wanted to just check in again about the accessibility, the number of Opportunity Youth Academy students who've been able to maintain their learning during shelter in place. Would you mind just giving a brief update or reminder for us about the status of that?
Right. So our numbers, our engagement numbers remain at 254 students engaged. We still have about 119 students that we have yet to have any contact with. We do know that our 254 students that are engaged are completing assignments through SciATech. I know teachers have been contacting them weekly, meeting with them either through phone or through Zoom or Google Meets. So at this point, we are going to start looking at that list of students that are not engaged and find if we need to put them on a temporary list. I don't want to deactivate them, but get to a place where we need to start looking at the students that are waiting to start and getting them on board and enrolled.
All right, thank you. So I'll take action to approve the OYA COVID-19 written operations report. Next action item is the SIPSA. Could you provide a brief introductory statement on this item as well?
I can, and I do have a small PowerPoint presentation that I would like to share, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
I'm going to share my screen here. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So this is the PowerPoint presentation for our SIPSA plan, which is our school plan for student achievement. Always, Santa Clara County Office of Education is a state regional service agency that provides instructional, business, and technology services to 31 school districts in Santa Clara County. Directly serves students through special education programs, alternative schools, Head Start, state preschool programs, American Education, and Opportunity Academy. Provides academic and fiscal oversight and monitoring to school districts and the 22 county board authorized charter schools, and provides essential services and technical assistance throughout the region and statewide. And the leadership and service and advocacy is led by Dr. Dewan, our county superintendent and our board member of Opportunity Youth, and certainly the support of the County Board of Education. So the SIPs of the school plan for student achievement 1920 updates. We had a total revenue of $578,642. And that revenue comes to us through our Title I, our Title III, our Title IV monies, our CSI funds, and our multi-tiered system of support, which is our MTSS grant that we did receive in 1920 for $25,000. Our total expenditures is $498,080.14, and that doesn't include our indirect costs at that point. So there is about 100,000. I think there's about 100,000 here that's not spent. But again, remember the indirect cost is part of that amount. There will be some carryover into 1920, approximately 27,000. But what I wanted to really do is just kind of highlight some of the accomplishments that we had this year with the activities and strategy, or I'm sorry, actions that we used that are in the SIPSA. The first is our college liaison position, who currently is Linda Ahmed. She's done a great job. She's expanded our capacity to attract students who are dual enrolled, as well as those in first year post graduation. What I am happy to report is that we do have currently 35 OIA graduates being supported at 5 of the county community colleges. These are that first peer group that we talked about. And so Linda does a fantastic job making sure, checking in with them, keeping open communication, meeting them at school sites, just providing as much support as she can, and connecting them with the supports at the community colleges. And we also have 6 students who are dual enrolled in OIA in one of the community colleges. So this is a huge, huge push in the right direction that we've been wanting to do for several years now. We also purchased our Naviance College and Career Readiness curriculum and post-secondary transition planning. This is an online system. We purchased it last year, but then we had to put the plan together and we implemented it this year. And so again, I'm happy to report that we have 188 students created accounts and have completed the Strengths Explorer assessment. That number hopefully will increase this coming year. So the plan is that all of our students will have a Naviance account and we'll be able to do some post-secondary planning.
I think that's really phenomenal. It's really exciting to see that we have graduates who are being supported in our community colleges. And I'm especially inspired by our ability to stay connected to the students and support them with the goal that they may also stay connected to us as graduates who then may enter into our career pipelines. And just remembering back to the early days when we were envisioning what OIA could be, that college and career readiness piece was really core. For students to earn their diploma, be ready, enter college, be successful in college, and then be able to have a successful career in Silicon Valley and to stay in our community and serve our community. And ideally, it'd be wonderful to have them work in our schools or in our county office, in our classrooms. And so I'm really thrilled to see this progress. And I would also like to encourage that we maintain some ways to stay connected and share information with the students about job opportunities and career opportunities, even while they're in community college. If they wanted to work while going to school, that there are options available to them, and potentially as well internships and other programs. So I hope that's part of what the team does, but if not, I just really wanted to revisit the importance of um, the connection to career, the connection to work and employment that really helps them earn a living wage and stay in our community.
Absolutely. Well, and so as we talk about careers, I'd like to just point out our career labs that we started last year. That has just been amazing, and it was such a great program. This year, because of shelter in place, we had to do two virtual labs, career labs. It was the first that Europe has ever done. So we jumped in and said, well, let's try it. So we actually had 5 cohorts this year, 75 participants. Two of the virtual labs, we had 92% retention. And the 3 that were in person, we have 77% retention. And I think the biggest reason why we had such a higher retention in the virtual was because students could access the lab. It wasn't a lot of our students, when they were doing in person, they had to drive, they had to commute, and that was hard for most of our students. So having it in a virtual lab where students could do it from home, um, I think it was just a phenomenal opportunity for them, and I heard nothing but great feedback from students that they really enjoyed it. It was tough, not having that one-on-one connection, but they made it work, and so we're going to do virtual labs in 2021 as well, and probably not do in-persons next year. But this Career Labs continues to grow and be such just a great opportunity for our students. Our Inclusion Collaborative, UDL, something that I'm extremely proud of our paraeducators and the work that they did, earning their certification. I believe that's what we called it, a UDL certification. And I'm happy to report that they continue, even after finishing that certification training, they are still working with Inclusion Collaborative and doing more training and helping them prepare for that virtual cohort, but also when we return in person to help support our students in the classroom. So I'm really proud of the paras and the work that they're doing. Our mental health therapist has a caseload of 42 students. That is such a big opportunity for our students to be able to have someone on staff that they can call and meet and have that person that they just can have an immediate connection with when they're struggling. And I know that she's very busy working with our students. Even to this point, she's doing Zoom or virtual check-ins with those students. And then our student success assessment, something that we've been working on with, I know Courtney Portell and Joe Harity and OYP. So I'm happy to report that we had 105 students complete the assessment. 73 students identified a need. And our navigators, our phenomenal navigators, made referrals to all of these different partners. Juma, Bill Wilson, Clean Slate, City of San Jose Intervention Services, Budget Mobile Phone Services, CalFresh, and you can read the list. But the work that our navigators are doing with our students and getting them the resources that they need is just amazing, especially considering it's just the 2 of them covering all 6 of our sites. So I'm very proud of that work that they're doing, and I know that we're continuing with that needs assessment. It's very helpful for us as we build programs. And obviously our biggest success is our class of 2020. We had 83 graduates this year. 50 in our fall and 33 in our spring. These are just pictures of our diploma distribution moment at Snell, and there's a little laptop here you can see in there. We provided a Zoom link for our teachers to Zoom in, so our students were very happy to see our teachers present but virtually. So, but we're very proud of all of our graduates, and we had a class of 82 this year. So that ends the presentation for the 1920. I can take more questions and move on, Dr. Dewan.
Just one question. How did the students respond to this virtual graduation experience?
They were very happy when they showed up and they saw the beautiful the diploma and the frame that they received. But I think that they do miss. They really look forward to the ceremony, and especially when we talk up our graduation ceremony, how beautiful it is and how personal it is. But I didn't hear any student saying, "Oh, this is horrible." I think they very much appreciated that we did something for them. They were very excited to see their teachers on Zoom. I'll be honest. They were very happy to see the teachers on Zoom. So, but I think it was a very positive experience for them.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. And so, just very quickly, our TIPSA plan for 2021, our Title I funds is actually projected to be less for next year. Now, my hope is that that will change, but our calculations are that it'll be less by about 75,000, which means that our total revenue is 469,279, whereas this year it was a little over 500,000. Our expenditures are 439,601, and again, not including our indirect costs. So that's roughly about 30,000 in there that leads us to manage some of our programs. And I'll just run through these slides pretty quickly. So our goal one didn't change. It's still providing a rigorous curriculum and instruction aligned to 21st century skills. Our first strategy is supporting our English language learners, finding supplemental curriculum or online curriculum. We currently have Eloquence, but I know that there's been some discussion among our staff about looking at some other supplemental curriculum that could support our students and then continue to provide professional development. Working with our Connect Ed partners and working on linked learning program, developing pathways. One of the big things that we're focused on right now is developing a graduate profile for our students, our graduates. And so we continue that work now with them, and the Connect Ed leadership team has been doing just a fantastic job really digging into some of our structures and our practices and asking the question is, does this really reflect what we want to do with our students, and are our students really meeting those expectations?
Director Morales had a question about that profile of a graduate. Are teachers and students involved in the development of that profile?
Currently, it is our teachers that are involved in this discussion. Yes, this is definitely not something that I think that has to come from me, or I'm a part of the process, but I do believe our teachers know what a graduate should look like, and they have a great deal of feedback or input in the profile, along with our guidance counselor and our college liaison and our paraeducators. And so it is really a school process or activity that we're doing to really look at what is it that we want our graduates to look like or have when they graduate, including our college and career readiness, reading levels, math levels, social skills, all of that. So yes, and then eventually, my hope is that we do pull students in to have a look at it and give some feedback as well.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think having youth voice as a component before it's finalized would be really powerful.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And again, we want to continue working with Inclusion Collaborative and the work that they're doing with UDL training and provide more support, continued support rather, to our paraeducators. My hope is at some point we could provide UDL training for our teachers. But right now our focus is on paraeducators. And our goal too is college preparedness, and again, continue to fund our college and career liaison position. We did purchase more Chromebooks in Khajiit hotspots, and so we're hoping to increase that inventory as we grow in our enrollments. And we know that our students, big kind of learning opportunity for us was to realize that our students didn't have the technology that they needed. So now we do, and so having our Chromebooks and our Khajiits available for those students, I think, has been a big help for them. Continue to support our work with Europe and providing virtual career labs. And then our goal 3 is our community work with families and parents. So we want to continue to support our mental health therapists, that contract, and then always how do we engage our parents through parent engagements, those types of activities. And so finally, this is just kind of a breakdown of how we're allocating the funds. Here's our revenue, 469,000, and then these kind of breakdown of the expenditures here, and our total expenditure cost is 438,000.
A question about the Khajiits, because I see that those are included here in the budget. Are they effective? Are they working well in terms of connectivity, and is that the right mechanism we should be using for connectivity?
Yes, I think initially it was a little difficult. We were also trying to find way or figure out how what do you do when the system or the Khajiit goes down? How do you reset it? Typically, if we were at the site, then we would just have the student bring in the Khajiit and we could do it there. So there was some kind of learning on our end on how do we, help a student get through resetting the device. But from what I understand, they're working fine. We do have to make sure that students don't go over the usage, and students that do. So, for example, the students that are in career labs, we know that we can't limit their use time. And we have to allow a little more time for them because they need it. They're using the device for a little longer. So we were able to kind of work through some of those technical problems, but from what I understand, they're doing absolutely fine.
Okay, thank you.
And so that's what I think that's the end of my presentation. Yes.
All right. Were there any public comments for this item?
I have no public comments at this time.
Okay, thank you. Then I'll take action to approve the SIPSA. Thank you so much for the report, for all the information, and special thanks to the entire team for all the hard work that goes into putting together these reports and activities. Additionally, I really want to do a shout out to our teachers and to the paraprofessionals who support our students going into shelter in place and retooling how we educate our youth. Required a lot of courage and investment of our staff. And I'm so very proud of the teachers and the Opportunity Youth Academy for the incredible work that they've done, and for our paraprofessionals and support staff and everyone else who's really supported our students during this unprecedented moment. As I prepare to adjourn today's meeting, I would like to take this opportunity to adjourn the meeting in recognition of the experiences over the last couple of weeks and the incidents over the last couple of weeks. And in particular, acknowledging how deeply saddened, stunned, and outraged I am, and we all are, about the senseless deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, Ahmaud Arbery, as well as all the other senseless attacks, harassment, and injustice on countless unarmed Black citizens. The outcomes have been wrong, unjust, and they must end. As we consider adjourning our meeting today, I think we also want to remember these individuals and call upon the strength within each of us to contribute to policies, procedures, review, and training about implicit bias and systemic racism and structural racism that we know exist in all of our systems, and commit to working together to dismantling that in our own systems. And I'd like to take a moment of silence in honor of these events and for reflection. And now I move to adjourn this meeting. Our next meeting is scheduled for September 3rd, 2020. I look forward to seeing you all then, perhaps in person. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Luan.